Here is one big difference. The SAT tests you on what you know. The SAT tests you on your reasoning ability. So that is one key difference. The other difference is this. Whether you believe this or not, the SAT gives you 49 seconds to answer a question, whereas the SAT gives you 62 seconds. Now that's a big difference. That's 13 seconds, and you can do a lot in those 13 seconds. So that is another big difference.
The SAT is a lot more logic-based. The ACT has a lot of has a science component which the SAT doesn't have. If you like psychological tricks and you're good at picking them out, then the SAT is the logical choice. If you're good at picking out graphs and you can do that for a good component and not wear your brain out, then the ACT might be a better choice for you.
Similarities to all that they're both used for college admission. The differences are, one is really an aptitude test, that would be the SAT, and the ACT is really achievement based on what you've learned. I'll speak to the ACT first. The ACT covers 4 subject areas, and that's math, English, reading, and science. And there is the optional writing segment that they have in that test situation. It's about a 3-hour test, and the questions are geared towards the learning that's going on currently in school. Your knowledge base, what you've learned, being able to support with evidence, maybe a controversial issue, being able to read graphs, being able to analyze data that's presented to you, and be able to respond to the questions they ask. Now, I do understand, if I recall correctly, the ACT has more multiple choice questions and a little bit less time to do it in, but it's a good basis for people that are more comfortable with sharing the content on that. The SAT has it's like an aptitude test. You can study for it. It's vocabulary based, and it's not the way that we learn in school. The future SAT, if I can speak to that, is going to roll out in 2016. And it's going to be more aligned to the way we do things in school. Closed readings, being able to synthesize material, analyze the text, and be able to provide evidence to support the positions that a student is going to write about. So, I think SAT is seeing the need for the change because we're seeing a larger number of students now taking the ACT. Historically, it was the Midwestern states were taking that test, and now more and more of our students are opting out of SATs and taking the ACTs. And which one's better? It's whatever a student's comfortable with, and I think you should focus on one, in my opinion, focus on one or the other in preparation for taking this test.
They're similar in that they're both tests for college admissions, but they're actually pretty different in what they look like. The SAT has many shorter sections that all focus on critical reading and math, whereas the ACT also has a science section, and the ACT has 3 very long sections that are about an hour each, one for English, one for math, and one for science, whereas the SAT goes back and forth with these smaller sections. The other big difference is sort of at least as far as math is concerned, is the questions that are asked. The SAT is more of a reasoning test, whereas the ACT, the questions tend to look a lot more like what students would see in a classroom in their math classes here at WJ. And it also goes a little bit further in terms of content. So the ACT includes material from pre-calculus, so up through and including some trigonometry.